everyone, my name is Wesley Weeks, and welcome back to another episode of Hobby Shops and Pop Culture of the Metro. We are here at 120th and West Center Road to visit a shop that caters to comics and figures. So, without further ado, let's take a look inside. My name is Wesley Weeks. Join me as we visit a variety of pop culture and hobby shops that can be found in the Omaha area that will spark your interest and inner child as we look at the world of plastic models, video games, comic books, trading cards, and beyond. Sit back as we discover pop culture and hobby shops of the Metro. Hello everyone, we are here at Krypton Comics. As you can see, they have pop figures of every size. Look at this Batman figure. This is enormous. I wonder what other kind of cool things that they have here at Krypton Comics. Without further ado, let's take a quick highlight before we talk to the main store owner. So, as you can see, they actually have quite a few pop figures right here. They have a lot of different kind of pop figures. They even have one that was from It, if anyone likes horror films. Personally, I do not. But they also have like anime, and there's actually a bigger Pennywise. Well, I am officially terrified. Alright, let's move out of this section and see what other stuff that they kind of have. So, as we can see, there is quite a few different kinds of figures, and that are, Marvel, DC, a little bit of everything and everything. They even have little plushies over here. This is actually kind of cool. They have a little Nezuko. For any of you that don't know, this is one of the main heroines from the series, Demon Slayer. And they even have more little plushies from the same series, and there's Mickey Mouse. Well, so this place really has almost a little bit of everything for pop culture. So let's actually sit down and talk to the store owner of Krypton Comics.
Hi, I'm Dean Phillips. I own Krypton Comics and have since 1993.
That is actually a really long time. The weird thing is I was born in 93.
That doesn't make me feel younger now.
But that just shows how long you've actually been in business for. Speaking of that, when did you decide to start a business like this?
I was doing other things, and in 1993, I knew that I was going to be getting married fairly soon. So I thought, why not take this brand new marriage and really stress it out a lot and start my own business? So I got married, and then 6 months later opened a business.
Okay, and why did you choose comics of all things?
I'd always liked comic books, and since I was a little kid. And when I was doing many of the other jobs that I did, I would go to conventions and sell comic books. And so I always liked the back and forth, wheeling and dealing with the comic books. So I thought, what can I do other than these other jobs that I had? And selling comics just kind of fit the bill.
Yeah, so that kind of answered what my next question was actually going to be, is what motivated you to go into comics? I think you summed that up pretty well, actually. So we can probably just go into what is basically your first objective when you're running your business? What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, of course, pay my bills.
Very important.
The people that you hire, you got to make sure that they have enough money to live on and things like that. But just in general, the goal of the store is to sell comic books, and we love the comic book industry, the culture of comic books and pop culture, and how comic books affect, I'll say, the world. Everybody knows who Superman is, Batman, Spider-Man. They're worldwide characters. not just in a comic book. So the goal is just to spread the gospel of comics, as it were.
Yeah, because you put it out perfectly. You focus on pop culture and stuff. Because when I looked at your store earlier, there's a little bit of everything from action figures, from Star Wars, G.I. Joe. You even have a good selection of little pop figures over there. I really am surprised at how many you actually have. It's just mind-blowing at the diversity you have. So can you tell us kind of like what kind of made you want to go lean more towards figures and stuff and just not just focusing on comic books?
Well, back when I was a young lad, deciding whether or not I was going to have a comic book store or not, a friend of mine named Bob Bailey, who became, basically a partner later on, he sold toys at flea markets. We had, 2 or 3 garage sales a year, and he just wheeled and dealed in Star Trek, Star Wars, superhero toys, and things like that. And he says, hey, if you ever do a store, let me put some toys in there. And I'm like, that's stupid. No one would ever do that.
Sounds like a George Lucas thing, kind of prophecy. I'm like,
now it's like, a third of my business. And he proved me wrong, and we love doing the toys. And I'm still surprised at how many rare things we've had come in and go out.
Yeah, because I noticed you actually have quite a few like anime figures and stuff like that. I'm like, there's not that many places that you can find anime figures that aren't bootleg, kind of weird Sailor Moon painted face and stuff like that. So you have a really good catering to different types of genres within like comics and anime, even with the American comics with DC and Marvel Universe, because I even seen some Batman figures, some Superman figures, and a few anime figures along with it. So basically, what is kind of like a few things that your store has to offer? Because I've noticed that, do forgive me, audience, but there's like a whole bunch of tables right down this way. I'm talking about there's like a good maybe 20, 25 tables down this way. It's like, what do you use these tables for?
Anything from playing Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, which is big for us, Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, the trading card games, to having an artist meeting, which we have once a month.
That's impressive, actually.
And there's a group of people that meet. They specialize in customizing certain dolls, so they meet here, once every month or so. So it's kind of a meeting place / gaming area. It's mostly gaming, but. So that's what we do here, yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. I actually run a model club at the Hobbytown USA, and I'm always trying to find more space because that's the biggest thing. We only have a little tiny little table, and it's basically what I have to say when I'm running meetings is first come, first serve for seating.
Right.
And so I was always looking at places that do that. So if anyone wanted to, for instance, host an event here that falls within, the pop culture area, you're more than fine with them having them.
We're willing to listen. Our room is booked up pretty good, with the things that we do, But if there's certain nights, we even have a chess club that meets here, They play during when D&D guys are here, because there's not that many of either one. So things like that, so we do have some open times that can be used, yeah.
That combination of chess and Dungeons and Dragons just probably reminds me of Harry Potter with the wizard chess. But so for one of my final questions I kind of have for you, what is your favorite comic book series? Or I should specifically say, who's your favorite comic book character?
Weirdly, I get asked that a lot. With the name of the store, Krypton Comics,
you would assume that it would be Superman.
You would assume, and I've gone very fond of Superman over the years, but Spider-Man has always been my favorite, because Spider-Man gets the flu, he has a really hard time fighting crime, you know. So he was a little more grounded in reality, even though he could crawl up walls and things like that.
He was more of a relatable superhero because this is like an average Joe kind of person now that has magical superpowers,
Yeah.
and he's trying to figure out what to do with his life, and problems just keep piling up with this poor little genius guy that just wants to live a normal life.
Yeah.
Alrighty, before we go, Dean here has offered us to give a tour of his shop. But I have a question for you guys.
Hi, in what comic book series did Superman first appear? Hey, welcome back. Again, I'm Dean, and I own Krypton Comics, and I'm going to give you guys a tour. Are you ready? All right, up here in front, we keep a lot of our more collectible comic books. Anything that might be really old or really new that just has probably a fairly high price tag on it, or in a high demand right now. So we have a section up front for that. This is our famous Funko Pop selection. We have probably more pops than most people in town, and we're constantly trying to add to it, but they do sell fairly fast. We have a regular selection of pretty cool action figures. We've got them divided up by our DC section. We've got Marvel, and then we have kind of just an A through Z, where everything else kind of falls into there. Star Trek, Planet of the Apes, Aliens, things like that. Kind of an A through Z section. We just expanded it to 3 rows, and that's pretty cool. This is our plushie and anime section. Lots of statues and even things like the LOL dolls. So we've got things for everybody here. And this is probably the busiest section in the store. This is our new comic wall. We have everything divided up by company, and so we'll have a DC section, a Marvel section, an Image section, and kind of an A through Z everything else section. We divide up the stuff that just came out this week, because comics are monthly, but they ship weekly. So we get something every week. And so we put that in its own special section right next to the other stuff. And then we have a graphic novel section in the store. And right next to our anime toys, we've got a manga section that has become very, very popular lately. And this here is our gaming section. So anything from Dungeons and Dragons to just needing dice, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, and that's why this is one of the reasons we have a lot of tables in the back, is for people to play these games after they purchase them. We custom built these drawers to hold our back stock of comic books. So this is everything from last month's comics to anything back into the 1930s, when comics kind of first started looking the way they look. One of our claims to fame, I guess, is our Star Wars section. Again, my friend Bob convinced me to carry toys, and he led off with Star Wars toys. Now it's become a massive 30-foot long section full of vintage stuff still in the package, to the brand new Black Series. And we even just had some custom panels put up there that light up to kind of make it feel like you're kind of in a Star Wars. We had to put some of our high-end collectibles under lock and key, of course. So we bought these cool cases. and we've got, you know, real expensive items, real small items, and then over here we have some vintage toys, from an erector set to an old chemistry set, a squirt gun, and then of course I'm a gigantic Elvis fan, so I always want a few Elvis things for sale. I don't care if I sell them or not. I like Elvis, and I want everybody else to as well. We're getting ready for a convention, so I've got some stuff boxed up, ready to go. But we have, this is our vintage toy section, and anything from our G.I. Joes to Transformers, Mego superheroes, Secret Wars, all the superhero different things. Transformers, we got a big section of He-Man, and Turtles is real big right now. And we'll put, you know, some interesting things that we just happened to find. I've got a Lone Ranger record down there. We've got some George Jetson old animation cells, you know, so just, this is kind of just our catch-all section for that type of thing. We've got some high-end collectible pops, so this is where we keep our slightly more expensive pops. And then I think every comic book store should do at least a small kids section. So many people come in and they say, do you have any comics that I can give to a kid? Well, most comics you can, some you can't, but this is a section that makes people feel very comfortable because they just know that everything in it is okay for their kids. And that's about it.
Thank you everyone for joining us here with Omaha Pop Culture and Hobby Shops of the Metro. I am Wesley Weeks, and apparently I'm Yoda right now.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm having fun.
Okay.
Thank you everyone again for joining us here at Pop Culture and Hobby Shops of the Metro. I hope you guys enjoyed Krypton comics as much as I did. I even managed to splurge and got 2 more items. Since it was a comic book and figure shop, why not get it my own comic and another figure? This has been Wesley Weeks, and I can't wait to see you guys